What's going on, everyone? This is Max, and welcome to Play by Play Tech with my other host, Moandogg Gaming. I kind of like fabbed that up, but whatever. How's it going?
It's all right, man. That's the whole point of us. We're like super sleepy. Jesus, and I made a mistake and just played it again, so it sounded like you were doing the intro again in my ear.
Like, boom, 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 boom. So what's going on, man?
None, man. I'm actually a little irritated. I'm tired. My sinuses is kicked in, and I can't hear out of this ear. So it's
Oh, that
pretty,
sucks.
yeah, it's pretty irritating. It's been like that since yesterday, and the ear will not pop. And I'm like, and it throws me off. It throws everything off. Like when I'm watching TV, when I'm driving, I
Mm.
can't talk on the phone with that ear. I gotta hold on my left hand, so I'm not used to it. Or when I put my earbuds in, it like blocks the only sound I have left, so it's like complete silence. So
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I get it and stuff. So, besides that, how's everything else going with you?
good. I'm pretty
Anything
excited
new,
for.
exciting?
Yeah, I'm excited for Final Fantasy. You already know that. I'm
Oh
all over
man,
that. I think it comes out on the 10th.
did you pre-order? Did you pre-order the expansion part?
No, matter of
Well,
fact, I'm glad you said something. I'll do that when we get off the podcast.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I haven't yet and stuff. So
Yeah,
I want to have to do that yeah this week to see what's going on and stuff. But besides that, I mean, man, let's talk about E3. We could talk about what we've been doing in the past. I'd rather just go straight to it. We always talk about like what we did over the weekend and stuff. Man, forget all that. I want to talk about E3 stuff because this is going to be happening. And what's today's date? Today is the it's going to happen in a couple of weeks. I just thought about it.
yeah,
Man,
yeah,
literally
yeah.
2 weeks. So so let's talk about Xbox first because that seemed like that's the hottest thing and stuff like that. So question for you. What do you besides Halo that we already know that they're gonna show? What else? What other game? In the hold up a minute. Halo. Let's just take this out the wrap. I know they're gonna show Starfield a little bit, and I know they're gonna show Halo. Besides those two games, what other games are you think that might be announced or shown or demoed or I don't know.
So,
What do you
so,
think?
so Avowed. I've been waiting on Avowed to see a little bit more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield, the new
Yeah, since
Battlefield.
last year.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. The new Battlefield. Um, hmm, Forza and GT.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Forza. That's one of the predictions.
Yeah. Um, we've already seen. You know what? I would like to see more of the Monkey King game. I think we had that one long trailer.
Well, that's a third party. I'm talking about like Microsoft exclusive.
Oh,
Well, we
Microsoft.
never know. Yeah, Microsoft exclusive.
Well,
Let's just talk about that.
I expect to see Perfect Dark. I expect to see Fable. Um,
Fail. Okay.
yeah. Uh, I've already said Forza. And I think that's my three besides Halo. Besides Halo. Oh, and Avowed. I want to see
Yeah.
Avowed. So
Yeah,
those
you keep saying it. Yeah,
because I've
you
been
have
so
about.
interested in Avowed and I can't get anything out of it. And they really been mouth closed with that one. Like nobody has leaked nothing about it. So it kind of
Yeah.
makes you a little scared, right? It's kind of like,
No,
did
I'm
they?
glad they're doing that. No, keep it tight knit until it needs to be
Yeah,
revealed.
yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, Starfield. But Starfield is Xbox and PC. I'm assuming, right? I don't think it's for PlayStation.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think it's gonna be PC
Okay.
as well. I'm assuming so because Microsoft is in the PC realm, you're gonna see most of these games like this on the Xbox on the PC is PC. So who knows
Yeah. Well, with
and
this list,
stuff.
there's a lot
So
of games I haven't seen. Well, before we get to that, what about you, Max?
besides the what you just said earlier, I so I wonder if they're gonna reveal or show gameplay footage of Hellblade 2 because it was absent last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the only reason I'm interested in seeing Hellblade 2 is because when they showed a like the first reveal, not revealed. Well, yeah, it was a reveal trailer, but it wasn't a gameplay trailer. It's just I was wondering. I'm trying to figure out like what can the Xbox Series X is really capable of producing, as in like games wise. I mean, as in like graphics fidelity and next generation graphics, because it was saying it was going to be similar to that, but I'm trying to figure out like how much similar are you talking about? Is it going to be close to that, or is it going to surpass that? Those are kind of like the things I've been kind of like thinking about um with with that. So I'm hoping that Microsoft will show that. Also another game. I'm hoping they reveal more of this Perfect Dark. I don't know if they will and stuff, but I'm assuming what they're gonna come out with this year is Halo Infinite, which we already know is coming out this year. Hopefully they'll come out with a Forza Horizon 5, which everybody is predicting. Also, hopefully they'll come out with um if they come out with Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon, and let's just say, well, Stalker 2, we already know that's going to be coming out.
Mm.
But uh, if they show, I don't know if it's going to be ready or not. If they show like gameplay footage of State of Decay 3, that's a zombie game that
Mhm.
I haven't had a chance to really play with, but they showed a trailer to that last year. I want to
Yeah,
see
with the
gameplay
deer,
footage of that.
the killer deer, and I'm
Yeah.
still like, really?
Yeah, so so if Microsoft is able to come out with three, maybe four exclusive games that's come out for their systems, what I just mentioned, I'll be happy this year. But for Microsoft's sake, I think they probably need to come out with a lot more first party exclusive games. And I don't know what that is. I know Avowed is not going to be ready for this year. I think it's a couple years out. That's just me being
Oh, you know
honest.
what? We may see
Uh,
some Elder Scrolls action. Maybe that. I'm not gonna
you know
really.
what's interesting? They came out with the expansion. It was an expansion trailer that just came out this week. So it's supposed to be for the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, but I wonder if they are going to come out with something that's going to be exclusive only for the Xbox Series X. I don't know what that might be,
To me, I think that'd be a
but
perfect move. Like right after they bought the studio, then they
yeah.
show the. It wouldn't be exclusive, but they since PlayStation won't be at E3, it'd be smart to show it on their system first. Because PlayStation, when the A3, when they were coming to A3, when they were coming to E3, PlayStation would show stuff first, even though it was a multi-platform game. But they will always show it first on
Mhm.
PlayStation. So Microsoft has that opportunity to do that now. You know, since they own the studio, they own the rights. Um, I just
Yeah.
think it'd be pretty smart. They don't have to show us a full length gameplay trailer, but they need to show us a decent one. I believe so. Uh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you with that.
mm,
I don't know. We'll see, but I'm just this is my prediction. We already know Halo's coming out because they confirmed that. I'm expecting Forza Horizon 5 is going to come out this year too. For Xbox sake, they also need to come out with Starfield. That's another game everybody's hyped up about. Not only just Starfield, they need to probably come out with State of Decay 3, which I just mentioned. That's four games that I just mentioned. They need to show some gameplay footage of Hellblade 2. They need to show
yeah, that's way
I don't know if
overdue.
they're gonna
That's way overdue.
yeah,
They gotta
yeah,
show
they need to
gameplay
show
footage of that.
gameplay footage
Yeah.
of Hellblade 2. I don't know if they're gonna show anything for Perfect Dark. I'm hoping that they show something for Perfect Dark. That's kind
I
of
don't
like
think we're
hopeful
going to get a
thinking.
gameplay footage of Perfect Dark. I think it's just going to be a
I think
maybe a
that's gonna be. I think that's probably gonna be next year.
yeah.
But it would be nice if they show something for Fable. Because that would be a good thing. All Xbox need to do is come out with 4 to 5 exclusive games for this year, and I'm talking about for them specifically. Bethesda, they have their own lineup, and I know Xbox own them now. If Bethesda come out with 2 or 3 games, that would add to the five that I just mentioned right there. There'll be 8 games, maybe 9 games and stuff. And Microsoft has some other studios that's under their umbrella. If they come out with another two, if they come out with 10 to 12 games, or even like 12 games, man, that's a win right there.
Yeah.
Because all the studios that they own and stuff, those studios have to have some games on the lineup. And I'm not talking about um like small games. I'm talking about AAA games. I mean, those are the ones I just mentioned I'm talking about AAA games, like games that will like blow our socks off, like how PlayStation have with Uncharted and with their God of War, with their Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, those original IPs that blow people away. Those are the games that we talking about. And there's even rumor that they may come out with the Banjo
Oh, jeez.
Kazooie. I don't know how true that's gonna
No,
be, but
man.
that was
Well, I mean, it's
that's a
good for the
rumor.
fans, though. It's good for the fans, but I not for me. I never get nothing bad about the game. I just never could get into it.
Yeah,
It's just
so
me.
I mean, who knows and stuff. So let's talk about PlayStation because PlayStation doesn't really haven't been doing E3 for the last couple of years. So what do you predict? PlayStation. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't even I don't even know
Again, I mean, I
what
can only
PlayStation
go
is going to
back
come out with.
to what we all have been talking about since the launch of the consoles. I don't think PlayStation is gonna, because they're not gonna be E3. They want to do their own thing. They're not gonna, they're not gonna put the dagger in the heart this year. This is not PlayStation's year, if you want my opinion. They did their thing back
I
in
don't know,
November,
man.
but
I don't know. They've been tight lip about a lot of stuff. So
they've always been that
I'm
way.
I don't know. I think they're gonna come out. I think they're gonna come out with an RPG game that's gonna blow our socks off, and I think they're gonna announce like 2 or maybe 3 original games. I give it three. I give it 3 original games,
You want my opinion? I think
and
the third party studios who are new or who are fresh or who are trying to make a name are going to set the tone for video games this year. And like I keep
yeah,
talking about the Monkey King, the Crimson Desert, and the one game you showed us that we could never remember the game to, that was just
yeah. I
amazing.
can't think of the name of it. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
I really think they're the ones pushing it makes you feel like we're at the end of a console cycle and they're pushing the way it looks. They're just pushing the potential of the consoles. So but
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. What I
no,
think is
you're right.
strange. Well. So we're in interesting times now. And the reason why I'm saying interesting times because nobody can buy a PlayStation 5 and nobody can buy an Xbox Series X.
And it
Period. I
won't
mean,
be
it's
really in this
almost
year at all. It's just it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's almost nearly impossible for the regular consumer to buy one. So the thing is, and one of the reasons why I think God of War 2, and when you talk about this, God of War got delayed to 2022.
2022, yeah.
But it also said it will come to the PS4. So I'm thinking with the issue of the supply of PS5, I'm thinking what Sony is doing right now is that they going back to the developers and say, hey, I know you making exclusively for the PS5, but since we can't meet this demand of because of this chip shortage, is there any way possible that you could retrofit to a PS4 just to satisfy that crowd because they can't get a next gen system, period. And so my thinking is that that's why you have Sony is kind of like tight-lipped on a lot of things. So
I mean,
I
the
don't know.
perfect people to do it is the first party studios because they're tightly integrated with the generation of consoles. So, as
Yeah.
far as if that was the reason, if your prediction is right, that's the reason, then that's a perfect reason. It's when you got third parties, CD Project Red, that try to port these things over to
Oh
older
man.
and new consoles, and they come up with look at the debacle that happened with uh, 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 Arkham Knight, the last Batman game. Was it Arkham Knight or Arkham Origins?
Mhm.
Where it had the huge PC debacle with all the glitches and everything, and Steam had to refund everybody's money back and all that stuff because
Yeah,
it
that
was
was
just
Arkham
bad.
Knight.
Yeah, Arkham Knight, it was just horrible. Um, Look at all the things that before it got solid. What do you call it? Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto was the same thing, but I mean, it's Rockstar though. You got to give them their props. So,
Yeah.
um, but the perfect people to do it is first party studios. So if Xbox wanted to port them on the Xbox One or the series of Xboxes, they can do it seamlessly. But it's when you have third parties that try to push both consoles and push the hardware, and they just have a hard time. So
Yeah.
if that's the reason, I think it's a good reason if they want to do that. Uh, I don't know if that's going to change people's minds about buying the game because people wants to play the games on the new systems. They got to figure out something with this chip shortage. And you know what? All companies will have to work together, if you want my opinion, because it ain't just the consoles. It's the PC manufacturers, it's the vehicles, it's the gaming. So I mean, they all got to figure out something. They really do. Somebody needs to step up and build another company to make to make chips. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know. I know it's not that simple. I know it's not that simple. And then I see articles all the time about the government stepping in, trying to see what's going on and what's wrong and all this. But anyway,
That's not gonna
just
help the situation. Yeah,
no.
let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna make it worse.
Yeah, but that's the last I heard of it,
But
and then I was just done with it. I said, you know what, just somebody just finds
yeah.
out.
Yeah, well, yeah, I am not gonna get into politics, but it's like you can't do anything about this.
No.
But um,
Maybe I should start my own
yeah.
business in the
So
semiconductor industry and just figure out
yeah,
how this is done.
I think once it's all this is said and done and
Mm,
stuff, everybody keep on saying like this is chip shortage. I think the thing is that there's going to be more and more demand, and then you got more and more products that is dependent on chips and stuff, and we're starting to see that more and more. And I think people didn't really uh anticipate it that much. So it's one of those things that um yeah, is it something that I think they underestimated it solely on the demand of this, and now now they're recalculating what needs to be done going forward.
yeah. So speaking on the whole PlayStation thing, I know they're trying to get into the PC space, right? They're releasing a few games or their first party games on Steam. And this one that I just pulled up, this article was just written today, this morning. And it says Sony won't release PlayStation games on PC at launch. So, just this first part of the article, the interview they had with whoever this guy is, the PlayStation Studio boss, and he says early days, so there's no hard and fast strategy at this point. So I don't see why there's not a strategy to get the games on PC just like Microsoft. Well, Microsoft is kind of seamless, right? They're already into the PC game. It already works on their operating system, so it's a lot more easier for them. But I just feel like Sony has the money, and it says right here, noted the Horizon
Hmm.
Zero Dawn PC edition was very successful, which demonstrates that people are interested in playing PlayStation games on the PC. That's why this part right here irritates me so much. There's no hard and fast strategy. So I don't see why they couldn't, just figure that out and push for games to come out on PC. Now I can understand if they just want the sales for PlayStation first. Later everybody, because they have so many people, they have so many systems. On, well, you might as well just say PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 because of the whole shortage. People buy these games, they buy them, and I think they want their money first before they just start releasing it on the PC. But to me, that still doesn't make any sense. you know, I just
Yeah.
I just feel like they should have a quick way. If they wanted this launch on PC and if it's as successful as they say it is, this is out of his mouth. You know, I don't see why they just don't have a PC gaming team to just strategically do that. I can't even pronounce that right. I'm sleepy and my ear
No, no,
can't hear.
I get you. I get what you're saying. Um,
That's just how PlayStation
I don't.
operates. They just drive me
I,
nuts.
I think. I think PlayStation. Well, I think their thinking is that. So their way of thinking is that the only way for you to play a PlayStation game is on PlayStation,
Hmm.
like a PlayStation exclusive game, and Microsoft Xbox used to think that way, but I think Xbox is saying like there's a whole PC market out there that could really utilize this, and you have some PC market people that refuse to buy console
Hmm.
because they
I used
consider
to
it
be
as the
one of them.
inferior. Yeah, so
Hmm.
it just for them, they saying like I'm not buying a console if I could just play it on PC. It doesn't, and I could run it at the way that I want to run it, and so that's a whole market right there on its own that Microsoft did utilize and say, hey, you know what, since we are in the PC market, why can't we just make it available to the Xbox games and stuff, and it's profitable for them because they're making money. Why are you gonna leave it to Steam and leave it to all these other PC gaming markets to make money? And just like for PlayStation, they're starting to figure that out, saying like, yeah, since this shortage is happening right now with the with the PlayStation, they're not making money. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're making their money from that side of it, but there's opportunities to make even more money if you able to have your games migrated to the PC area too. That's the thing is like you haven't you satisfying both parties, and then on top of that you can make twice the amount of money by doing that. I don't know and stuff. So
I would never
it
understand the way PlayStation does things. A lot of it doesn't make sense. Look, perfect example. You still haven't unlocked the thing for the SSD, so I can throw an SSD in here. Like to me, that makes no sense. I just don't get it. And I believe
yeah,
those
and then
SSDs are out. So
yeah,
uh,
and it's funny too. I'm on their Sony website. They got the external USB drive compatibility,
I
but
don't want that.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, so they have that option. But my other thing that's kind of driving me nuts too, and we kind of well, I'm gonna say it's driving. Well, yeah, I will say it's driving me nuts. So it's a couple of things that I kind of want to talk about too. I know you had other topics,
No, no, we're good.
but we talking about Sony right now. So a couple of things that I've been kind of like thinking about is that with Xbox, and I talked about this last week. The Xbox is doing Dolby Vision gaming, and I was able to be one the testers for it for the Insider Gaming for Xbox. And I sent you I sent you a picture
Yeah, blew me
of me
away.
playing Resident Evil in Dolby Vision Gaming,
Yeah.
and and I touched. We talked about this last week, and I'm bringing this up again and stuff. Xbox is constantly hands over fist trying to please the the consumers by bringing out all this new technology that not everyone may use, but is available if you want to use it.
Right.
And Sony, on the other hand, what makes me kind of irritated is that PlayStation 5 doesn't have VRR or ALLM. Granted, I don't think that's really super important because certain games I just haven't seen tearing except for at the beginning of the console when we got the consoles at launch. I was telling you about Assassin's Creed. I was having issues with tearing. Since then, I haven't seen any tearing in any games. But the fact is that Xbox had that feature on the Xbox One for the longest time. Is kind of, I don't know. It's jarring that I don't see why PlayStation doesn't have that yet.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that they don't have VRR and the ALLM, and Dolby Vision Gaming. I think from me testing this and playing games, I think it's going to be the future. I think it's going to be a real competitor. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be HDR10 that's going to be the kind of like the go-to if you don't have a Dolby Vision display. I know Samsung still doesn't support Dolby
Yeah.
for whatever reason, but you have pretty much all TVs now support Dolby Vision. I just don't see why Sony doesn't want to support on their console. I'm talking about PlayStation 5, not the TVs. I don't understand why their consoles don't support that or even talk about that because just like you mentioned, I wish I could upgrade our hard drive,
Mm-hmm.
internal data internal hard drive. Um, Dolby Vision is kind of very important to me. Dolby Vision gaming because we already talked about that. VR is important, but I'm not that worried about it. But it's just the thing is that Sony should have had that on day one because it's like
Yeah.
Xbox had it for the longest time. Same thing for ALLM. But it's just the thing is that Xbox is coming out with all these features that I didn't think I really need. And even with the last update, they have a feature now. They have an audio pass through, and if people don't know about that, with the audio pass through, that's for people who have receivers or a soundbar, and instead of you having your TV does the decoding of it, your receiver or your soundbar can do it for you, which is better in that, or excuse me, your console, let's say your console doing it, you have the actual dedicated system that will decode it properly instead of having the console doing it. And those are kind of like those small things that people really don't think about. Those are things that people should appreciate,
Yeah.
and I think Sony need to really take note of
Well, the
that
thing
too.
is,
So
we have both, right? And sometimes when you're playing the Xbox, it feels like a truly free console, but
I
then
haven't played the PlayStation.
I haven't played it either. I haven't.
Yeah,
I will be playing it when Final Fantasy comes out, but I haven't played the PlayStation. But when you go over to PlayStation, you feel like you're locked down and you have to use only proprietary to what they have. And sometimes it feels like they make the consumer fight for better features. It's like they wait for somebody to get on there and make a petition and get 150,000 signatures, and then it makes you feel like, all right, we'll finally release the feature, And some decisions just sometimes don't make sense, especially the whole PlayStation 4 era when it first came out. Wasn't like messaging or something different, and they didn't release something. It was stupid, and we're sitting here. What was the feature that was so stupid and simple that when the PlayStation 4 first came out, they didn't release it till like 2 years later, and it had something to do with the chat feature. Anyway, here's
yeah.
perfect. Here's a perfect
I,
example.
I
Nintendo didn't even have chat or messaging for the longest for the Switch. I thought that was the stupidest thing in the world. But you got a portable console. There was no form of chat, and then they released the chat app, which you have to do over your phone, which I don't understand that either. So but
yeah.
but then you got Microsoft. It's like, all right, you guys want this, you guys want that, And I was really hoping they came up with a integration to Discord. That's what I kept saying right before the consoles came out. But anyway, between Xbox and between PlayStation, it really feels like you're locked down when you have one console or the other. If you get Xbox, you get all the features you desire plus more with more games, or you get PlayStation, which feels like a true next gen system, but you feel like you're locked down in certain aspects. I mean, it shows it at look at the whole E3 deal. They just kind of want to do their own thing. They want to do their own press conference. They want to do their own this, their own that. So it's just they don't ever really want to unlock crossplay. People got to fight for crossplay when it comes to certain games, So just I don't know what's on. Put it this way, it works, right? People are buying Sony more so than the Xboxes, so whatever their marketing strategy is working. So
Yeah.
so that's just my thing about it. I wish they would literally I would go get an SSD right now for PlayStation if they unlock that. I'm like ready to
Yeah,
buy.
they need. Yeah, they really need to release that because it's getting to a point now. There's more and more games that's being released, and Yeah, it's just I hate deleting and re-downloading stuff. It's so annoying.
And as fast as the SSDs
Eh,
are, I mean, it still takes time, right? Well, they're
yeah.
optimizing the games pretty well, but even if you were to get the new SSD, you got to transfer all your games over to the new one. Like I love having. Well, you have the external SSD for Xbox. Are all your games on
Mhm.
that external SSD, or you kind of got them mixed in between?
No, I can't even fit everything on that external SSD.
Okay.
So it's a mixture between the external, my internal, and I have an external hard drive too
Mm-hmm.
because I forgot how many games I have, but it's like like 1 terabyte is not enough. I
No, not
mean,
at all.
even 2 terabytes is not enough.
Mm-mm.
To be honest with you, I think the minimum should be 2 terabytes,
Mm-hmm.
but I think what and Xbox used to do this, and I think PlayStation may follow suit. Xbox used to have, well, PlayStation did the same thing too, where they give you different tiers. Like, hey, you could upgrade to a more storage, but it will cost like $50 or $100 more. Xbox did the same thing too, and I'm just thinking, I understand they was trying to keep costs down when the consoles came out, but I kind of wish they just came out with a 2 terabyte and then you could go ahead and just get your expansion card to make it 3 terabytes or extra 2 terabytes that'll make it 4. But I think with the new consoles, I think 4 terabytes, uh
Yeah,
maybe
but
five
you talking
is
about
something
cost at that
is
point.
something no, I know it's gonna cost a lot of money. I know it costs a lot of money, but I think if for a person to stay with the I say in the life of the consoles, I don't know how many years it is. I think 4 or 5 is something that would be uh the standard for everybody to do that. But the minimum should be like 2 terabytes for the basic consoles.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of speculation and rumors about a mid-tier console, even though we're so early in this. And I saw a few articles where they were talking about the reason why they're thinking of mid-tier consoles is because of the whole chip shortage issue. I don't know how that's going to solve it, but that's their reasoning for doing it is to combat against the chip shortage or something. So I'm assuming they must
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do
use
that either.
yeah, use a different chip manufacturer, or they found some sort of way to give you less power but still get the same feat. It reminds me of uh, the One X and the One S. I'm sorry, the
Yeah.
Series X and the Series S. You can get all of the premium features, but you won't get the graphical performance, or you won't get a certain resolution here or there. And I'm speaking on the PlayStation end, because Xbox is already doing this. But as you can see, with a different tier of the Xboxes, they're still all out of stock. So and they're talking about this is going to continue on to next year, and we're not even talking about beginning of next year, like middle of next year, they might be able to figure this out. So I, if you guys wasn't the first adopters, didn't try hard, I mean, I feel bad. There was a time though, like last month, a lot of people that I knew acquired some by walking in the store, but now you can't even walk into the store and get them. It's just, it's ridiculous. And everywhere you read, they're saying it's going to continue until next year. That's just for sure. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. But just to change it up a little, Will, you got any more on that?
No,
Okay.
I'm good on that.
I don't know if you saw this article yet, Max, but so remember Windows saying that 10 was going to be the last Windows they ever made? Well, apparently Windows is supposed to be showing something on June 24th with the next
Hmm.
generation. So I don't know how I feel. I think Windows 10 is fine. I feel like they should leave it alone unless they got something that is blowing it out the water and has a better utility of how we use computers. I don't think I don't think they should just, if they want to add something to it, they should just upgrade, do an update and add the feature. That's just how I feel. I mean, whether you okay, here's how I look at it. You get your new graphics card. Let's just say a 3080 or the new RTX card. I'm sorry, the new Radeon cards, AMD. Whether you have Windows on that or Windows on another version of hardware, it's gonna be the same operating system. So
Yeah.
To me, it's just, I don't know. I'll watch it. If this is true, whatever this article, this is from PC Gamer, so most likely to be true. I don't see what else they can add unless they're just very creative and just wow me, give me a huge wow factor. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we need another version of Windows. That's how I look at it. Especially with the history that Microsoft have, right? Remember from Windows, what was it, Windows 7 to Vista, and Vista was horrible. And
Oh yeah,
then
Vista was worse.
then it came out with
And
8,
then
and 8 really wasn't that good.
what was it, 7 Vista or was it
7 was
Vista 7?
amazing. Oh well, one of them, Vista, well, whatever it was,
Yeah,
it was.
that was I had Vista, and now
Mhm.
and that's what converted me over to a Mac because I was so yeah, that's what I got converted over to
So
a
was
Mac
it
because
XP to Vista then, and then Vista to 7?
yeah, it was
Okay.
Vista because I during that time I had I had a Hewitt Packard. That was when I was in college and stuff. So, um, yeah, I had that. I had so many issues with that computer, and it was all because of that operate. It just kept on crashing for whatever reason, and I knew I wasn't the only one that was having an issue, and that's why I was like reading articles. Well, at that time, we really didn't have like forums wasn't really popular or wasn't made during that time, but I had to read like PC magazines and stuff or try to look stuff up, and I was finding out that everybody else was having the same issue. So that's why I was like, I'm just jumping onto the Mac side, and I didn't have issues with the Mac since then. So
Yeah, so it was. I think it was XP to Vista. The Vista was horrible, and it came out with 7, and then it came out with 8. 8 was horrible, then that came out with like 8.5 or something like that, which made it a little bit better. And then Microsoft kind of made you feel like you had to have Windows 8.5. And then they came out with
yeah,
10, and they did knock it out of the water with 10. But a lot of people were so heartbroken from 8.5 and Vista. A lot of people didn't want to give Windows 10 a chance. And then Microsoft had to come out with it's a free upgrade, and then everybody hopped up on the train, and that was actually a really good strategy to get people on. It's the same thing I've been saying about the whole cloud thing with Stadia. Like, let it be free and let people find out a way to love it, and then when you finally perfect it, release it. NVIDIA has done the best job as far as the whole cloud service thing. But
yeah,
yeah, but as far as Windows, I don't know. I don't know what else they can offer besides just keep doing what they're doing on Windows 10, or if they want to just. I mean, all they have to do is uh make an update where if they want it to look different, make an update for it and just release it. Don't just give everybody a new version of Windows and then you got to get new product keys and all this stuff, and you don't even know if they're going to do a free upgrade because and Windows 10 haven't even been out that long. If you want to be honest, I don't think it was out that long.
yeah,
So I just think
yeah,
it's too soon, and maybe they just have a really great idea they want to release, but uh, I don't too much care for it unless they wow factor me, and I'll be like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be sweet. You know, uh,
yeah,
they tried to get back into the phone game, and still with the Android, they haven't been successful. I was all over that Windows Duo phone because it was Android, and it was two huge screens and all this stuff. And then when I started playing with it at Best Buy, I'm like, it's kind of stupid because the phone was like
hmm
this big. It covered my whole hand, and with all this new
yeah.
form factor.
They had that Palm. What was a Palm Pilot or whatever it was back then.
Yeah.
And yeah, Windows was and this is the thing is about it. Windows was the first to come out with their version of the smartphone, and that is true. They did come out with the first, but it was so terrible. It was poorly implemented because they try to mirror everything from a Windows perspective, and that was one of the issues why nobody didn't want to buy it is because I remember because my dad had it and my dad said, yeah, I think you probably should get it. I said, no, this it looked like trash. I remember he had to get a pen and a stylus pen, and he was pressing the start menu on there, and then he was trying to navigate, and the icons were so small. I will never forget it. I was like, this is like the worst. Whoever
Experience
did the
ever.
design,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a terrible experience. But when Apple came out, they made it so simple with their icons, and the icons was big enough for people to see it. They were just like it was simple. It was simple and easy to do. It wasn't. It was nothing complicated about that iPhone when it first released. I mean, and when they came out with apps, and that's what Windows should have known this, and they should have done this, but that's why they failed at the cell phone areas because Apple came out with an innovative way with their phone that made it easy and user experience, and then they came out with apps where they was charging developers to say, hey, if you want to be on our iPhone, you like I say, you got to pay us money and stuff,
Hmm.
and they were just making oodles of money doing that, and then everybody else followed suit, and that's where Android started to come out with their own stuff, and it's been going back and forth. But if it wasn't if Microsoft would have, I want to say learn from that, but if Microsoft would have came out first for that I think it would have been a completely different experience now. Microsoft would be, I mean, Microsoft is still one of the top, but it's not compared to Apple stuff. So
Yeah. And you don't hear too much Surface news anymore. I mean, Surface used to be just a peak of PC just in general at one point, and it just faded away. And it's like they haven't. I think they still have the Surface 7 out, and I think that's been out for like 2 years or whatever, and they haven't came up with anything new. So hopefully, whatever this event is, they'll release it. I haven't looked too far into this article. This kind of popped up, and I figure maybe we could talk about some form of PC and Windows, but I'll look more into that, and hopefully we'll have something next week about it, of what they're
yeah,
doing. But other than that, I have nothing else.
no, I'm good. I wanted to make this kind of short, and hopefully we'll energize ourselves for
I
next
know,
week and
yeah, I'm
stuff.
burnt out, and I'm not feeling well.
Yeah,
Just
I wanted to
every
talk
day.
about Far Cry 6, but we'll talk about it next week and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, we got another week before
so
E3, right? So we'll
yeah,
probably see some new Far Cry news. I actually saw some earlier, but we'll get into it next week. We'll get into it next week.
yeah.
So other than that, you got a new video out, Max?
Yeah, just came out with a video today, playing that Dolby Vision game on the Xbox Series X on my Sony A90J, and
Okay.
just give everyone a heads up too. If you have any TV that have Dolby Vision, you could also take advantage of that too, because right now, with the update, I mean, I only could play a Dolby Vision at 4K 60. They do have the option for 4K 120, but there's no TV as of right now that could support 4K 20 with Dolby Vision Gaming. So I know LG is working on that. I don't know if Sony's going to be doing anything with that. Yeah, because I already talked about my issues about I had to switch the inputs from 4K 120 to if I want to play enhanced 4K 120 or I had to play enhanced Dolby Vision. So I don't know if Sony is going to merge that or I don't know. That's been my only frustration on it. But other than that, I mean, I love the
Yeah,
TV.
I
I
hate
think
when
it's
you
good.
have
But
to choose which one you want without combining
yeah,
them
because
all together.
it's
It's
irritating because I
frustrating.
have to
Yeah.
constantly because I have to constantly go out to settings
LG
and
does the
say,
same
okay,
thing with
yeah, I
their
want
whole
to.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, because it kind of it messes up the experience because for me, I don't want to play with the settings. I want to say, yeah, the settings on the input. I want to just go ahead and just receive the signal, and then I just go to my PlayStation 5 or Xbox and say, oh, yeah, it's accept Dolby Vision at 4K 120, 4K 120 HDR and stuff. And that's it. I shouldn't have to toggle between both settings and
Yeah.
stuff because I don't know, whoever came up with the idea should have got, I'm sorry, you should get fired and stuff because whoever came up with that idea is stupid and stuff because it makes absolutely no sense. I don't. They could tell me it's they could tell me all they want that is the limitation of whatever they're using, as in whoever make the proprietary HDMI for them. I don't care what they say and stuff, but it's just a fact is when you come out with a consider it as one of the top of the notch TVs. It's like you got to make it intuitive enough or for users to not have to go through that functionality and stuff. That's just my 2 cents. So
Yeah. All right. Well, cool, man. So other than that, I'm on Dog Gaming. You got Max Chamberlain. Look at that. I'm pointing in the right direction this time.
yeah,
Subscribe, like, subscribe. Max tries to come out with a video every beginning of the week or middle of the week. So keep
yeah, I
staying
try
tuned to
to.
that. Yep. So other than that, I'm done.